Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing another meal prep video for you guys, and this is like a meal prep slash an actual meal because we're going to be making chicken burrito bowls, which make enough to have lunch for the whole week and dinner for whenever you make it. So we'll get some dinner out of it and some lunch. So for the chicken, you're going to need some salt and pepper to season the chicken. You'll need about a pound of chicken breasts, some taco seasoning mix, some flour, and then some butter just to use to melt in the pan. Then to make the cilantro lime rice, you will need brown rice, whole lime, some cilantro, and then some sea salt and garlic. To make the chipotle pepper sauce, you'll need some non-fat Greek yogurt. I just get the plain kind. You'll need some lime juice, and you'll need one whole pepper in adobo sauce, which looks like this. It doesn't look very beautiful, but it tastes really good. And then for toppings, you can feel free to put in what you want, but we put in some lime juice, some avocados, some black beans, some Southwest corn, has some pepper in it, some pico de gallo, some jalapeno, and finally some sour cream, and sometimes some cheese if we have it. The first thing we're gonna do is the rice. So go over to the stove. So you want to start the rice first because it's going to take the longest. It's going to take about 35 minutes to cook, and then you have to let it cool down a little bit. So what you're going to do, you want a medium-sized saucepan, and you're going to put in 4 cups of water. Want the 4 cups of water, and then just 2 cups of rice. I recommend putting the rice in first so it doesn't stick. And then all you're gonna do, you're gonna put that on a medium-high heat and let it come to a rolling boil. And then once it comes to a rolling boil, you're gonna cover it, and then you're just gonna turn the heat to low and let it cook for 35 minutes. I tend to stir every now and then in between too. So while the rice is cooking, we're gonna start on the sauce, which is probably the simplest of all the things we're gonna make. So you want about a half cup of Greek yogurt. I find that one of the, what size is this? One of the 5.3 ounce containers is perfect. We're just gonna scoop that out into a bowl. You're gonna wanna have 1 chili pepper and adobo sauce. You can add more if you want a little spicy. Oh, that one's too small. Okay, I accidentally ripped that one, so that's like half. Like I said, they look really gross, but they taste super good. Okay, here we go. It's gonna be a little spicy. So you're just gonna wanna mince this up. Put it right in the bowl. Next thing you're gonna wanna put in is 1 minced clove of garlic. I know that's kind of weird because it's a giant thing of garlic, but I find this a lot easier. So we'll just put in 1 clove's worth. And then finally, we need 1 tablespoon of fresh lime juice. So a hack I've learned is if you put your lime in the microwave for about 15 seconds, it makes it a lot easier to get the juice out. So we'll do that. I literally just put it in the microwave by itself. And then while you're over here, you can mix your rice. So this is supposed to just help the juices come out. It's a little warm now. All I normally do is cut the lime in half. And then what I do just to like make sure I get all the seeds out is I actually squeeze it over a mug. I think against the mug helps, or into the mug, because you can push it against the side, so when the fruit is being particularly difficult, it makes it easier. I know a lot of people also do it like this over their ham. I do that sometimes too. All right, now that that's done, I'm just gonna pour out about 1 tablespoon. Oops, okay. About 1 tablespoon. Just gonna put it in there and then mix it all up. Okay, and when that is all mixed, that is done. You can go ahead and set that aside in the fridge just to keep it cool while you prep everything else. Okay, so the rice has cooked, all the water has evaporated. I ended up needing about 3 minutes less than what the directions recommended. I transferred it to a bowl and put it in the fridge just to cool down a little bit since it's pretty hot. So that needs to sit in the fridge for 30 to 45 minutes until it's cooled. So now we will start the chicken. So the first thing we're gonna do is mix 3 tablespoons of white flour with 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning. I'm just gonna put this in a bowl so that way it'll make it easier, not as messy when the mixture gets everywhere. Okay, so now that this is all mixed together, I'm going to prep my chicken. So I kind of want the chicken a little thin, so I'm gonna take 2 of these chicken breasts and slice them in half. Not all the way though, so that way they're still connected. Now these become one long piece. Okay, so now that the chicken is cut in half, we're just going to season it with some salt and pepper. Now we're going to take our mixture, and I'll be honest, I'm a little bit extra when it comes to this part. I actually am going to put it through a little sieve, so that way I know there's like no lumps of flour or anything in there. Got my little sieve. I actually just got this from the dollar store. It came with a pack of 2, so pretty cheap. So I'm just gonna scoop this up and then go and coat pretty well all the pieces. So you can see what one side looks like completely covered. That's kind of what you want. So now I'm just going to flip the chicken and do the exact same thing on the other side. Okay, so the chicken is totally seasoned. I'm just gonna press the mixture in a little bit just to make sure it stays. Okay, so our chicken is all seasoned. We've got our pan heating on a medium-high heat. I'm just gonna add about 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm not gonna be too specific because we'll need to add more. We'll just let that heat. And I will give you a pro tip. You will probably need to add more butter while it's cooking. One time I did not, and the pan got too dry, and I made a lot of smoke because it's just flour on the hot pan and set off my smoke alarm. Highly recommend adding more butter throughout. Now our chicken in the pan, I'm just gonna do about 1 at a time. And I'm gonna let this cook for about 3 to 5 minutes on each side. We'll see. Chicken is all cooked. It's just gonna rest for a few minutes. I have chopped and got the juice from 1 lime for the rice. Now, the easiest part, we're gonna take the can of black beans and the can of corn, and I'm just gonna strain them through a colander so the rice has cooled. Now I'm just going to add the juice of 1 lime. It's here in my mug. Pour that in. I have 1/2 cup of unpacked chopped cilantro. It smells so good. Next I'm gonna put in a teaspoon of my minced garlic. And finally, 1 teaspoon of sea salt. Now we're just gonna give it a good mix. You definitely wanna make sure you mix this really well as you have a lot of ingredients in here. The rice is ready to go. You're gonna wanna try it first. That's really good. The chicken burrito bowls are all ready. I have a table full of ingredients. Now comes the fun part. Just go ahead and put however much of whatever the heck you want in your bowl. Mix that all up and enjoy. At the end of the meal, when you're all done, take whatever's left over and just divvy it up between some meal prep containers, and you should find yourself between 3 and 5 lunches depending on how much you eat tonight. Hope you guys enjoy. Bye! So I just put everything away into their meal prep containers. Guys, I have 5 lunches, and that's after Michael and I ate. Look at